look at this. Garbage, garbage, garbage everywhere out there. Beautiful blue sky. You don't see much of it in this picture. But we got a blue sky this morning. Yesterday too. Beautiful blue sky day all day long. It was fantastic. Fantastic yesterday. Oops. Chantal. Yes, I did get a little shake last night. Did you feel it? I appreciate that you're interested in Japan, but do you track everything we do? Actually, it was funny last night, just as that thing hit. When was it? 6:30, 7:30, 8:30? I don't know, something like this. I was talking to Sadako on Skype. I live here I'm in Taitoku in Asakusa. She's in Haijima, out near it. It's the next town, like up to Ome, where I lived at Ome. And we're just chatting on Skype last night, and it starts to shake. I'm like, oh, earthquake, it's shaking. She says, I can't feel anything. And of course, she's, 40, 50 kilometers away. But quickly, I've got a hot link there in my browser. Popped up the link, and it's the weather map page. And these days, they show in real time the reporting from all the shaking stations. So as soon as it starts shaking, you hit the URL, bring it up, and it shows a map of Japan with the epicenter in red, and it's got when you drop a pebble into a pond, it goes out and out and out and out. So I can see these things. I can see the line moving. It's already past me, obviously. And I can see the line getting towards. So I said, here you go, ready. 3, 2, 1. And she starts shaking just at that point. And she's like, how did you know? Post the link here, Dave. It's just the Yahoo weather, whatever. Okay, I'll go to my browser. Hang on a sec. Weather, typhoon, weather, earthquake. I have the weather map links ready for typhoon, for tsunami. Okay, this is not showing because there's no earthquake happening at the moment, but this is the page. And when you open this page, there's the main map at the left with the previous earthquake, and then on the right-hand side it says, it's in Japanese, it says real-time shindo monitor. Well, you can see it. It's on the right-hand column, second one down. And this is the main link to, it's the Yahoo Japan earthquake map. It links to various things. So the main map here at the top left is just showing whatever little shake happened 20 minutes ago somewhere else. The right-hand top map is the Tsunami Warning Map. If there's a tsunami warning coming up, the top right-hand is where it shows, and the map below that on the right-hand page, that's the active one that shows when there's an earthquake, and it's in real time. And it's astonishing. They must have sensors all over the country reporting in real time on the internet right to my computer in real time. John Becker's got it. Ramen cats. So as you know, my current work, actually I finished it. The blocks are upstairs. They're doing test printing for the second time today on the first print in this year's series. So Dave's got to scrub out and pick up jobs that are waiting in line. And Ramen cats, we first proofed it a year ago? I have no idea. This is maybe in its second year now. I really don't remember. We proofed it, had lots of questions. These are, I don't have one to show you, and I'm not going to show you because it looks awful at this point. But at that time a year ago, we made memos. Okay, do this, cut the pattern off here, make a new block here, cut the pattern off here. This one wasn't just test printing that said, okay, mix some more colors. We clearly needed a bunch of new block changes. So I have a few of the blocks here, and I am going to be cutting off part of some block, adding on part of another block. And then after I finished, it goes out to another printer for round two. Paper is out. Paper was out at 6:30 this morning. I did a good job, 2 of them. Dei-chan is up there printing the first print of next year, and Suga-san, she has already started now making a batch of our New Year's cards. And I heard her go up the stairs a few minutes ago. Welcome back, Suga-san. Yep, I'm really, really happy she's back. Really happy. She doesn't seem really strong and stuff. She's had some trouble with her shoulder. When she was here a couple of days ago, we talked about this. You know, she used to work at Adachi many years ago, and she left there to train as a what do you call it? Shiatsu and massage and all that kind of stuff. Did that for a while, then came back to the woodblock world, to us. And I'm surprised to hear that she's had the muscle trouble. So we chatted about it yesterday, and I showed her what the system I have. I don't have it here because I don't do printing here. But in the Ome workshop where I do my printing, I built a bench for myself, and I built, as part of it, I built hanging from above. There is what do you call it? A pull bar. You know, like a bar when you're walking up the stairs and you hold on for strength. So every hour or half hour or 20 minutes, if I felt stiff, grab the bar, stretch. Okay, this is going to be some light persuading this morning. We're just tapping away some areas here. What I've got, in fact, I should explain what I'm going to do. This block, it's one of the blocks that needs adjustments, positive and negative. There's a image here. We've got the server. He's got a taski, a sort of a ribbon that holds his kimono in place, and he's got a bandana. And those colors appear on a bunch of different blocks, and there are too many colors. There's too many overlays. It's become muddy. So we're going to take that off this block. That'll be easy. I will carve this off. Also, this cat, the upper cat here, he's got a kimono with an outer kimono and an inner kimono, and it turns out we don't have enough differentiation between the outer and inner. So I'm going to remove here the inner kimono, helping differentiate the two. And then the lettering that was on this is reversed Japanese lettering that's on the yatai stand. It's not showing up clearly enough. So I'm going to put the letters on here with this piece of paper and cut those out. So it's going to be step by step. Yeah, this isn't part of the 8. It's not part of the 8 cats, but it is actually sort of a series. It's becoming a series. In here we call it the Sushi Cats series. John's explained it, eh? We've got 3. You can see the image for this. It's on Jed's website. He's already publishing the inkjet version. So you can see this picture if you want. It's over on Jed's website. The woodblock version is not there, but the inkjet version is. And I didn't carve this. This was carved by Kawasaki-san, our carver in Kobe. Someone's watching the quake radar. Tell you what, if you see one and the circle's widening and coming closer to me, give me a warning. So that's cool. Open up my glasses package and nothing is in there. Who took my glasses? Right there. Okay, as it says, small tapping here, no major stuff. This is funny, carving something. This was carved by somebody else, not me. Eh? So all the depths and all the angles and everything, it's all different from what I would do. So my impulse now is to go over this whole thing and to change it so it looks like a David-style block, but that's not necessary. So it's a funny feeling. You know? This one, I've got 3 blocks today to do this, 3 blocks to change. This Ramen Cats was a really difficult one to do the color separations on. If anybody has seen the link, if somebody's popped it in, the one over on Jed's website, it's a complex print in terms of light and stuff like that. And kind of we failed on this. What I wanted when we were first talking about this design, I wanted the idea that we would be underneath in, this is an outside stall. It's a yatai, an outside stall. These cats are sitting around. This is the stall, eh? This is the thing with wheels, and the guy puts stools up and then there's a curtain over top of it. So it's dark outside, and it's supposed to be light. So the idea was to have a glow inside this thing with a really dark outside. But we don't see the outside, so everything we're seeing is inside, so it's lit up. So if we were seeing it from a distance, we would see the outside darkness and the glow of the stall, but we're only seeing inside. So we don't get that feeling of being at night, and it's too bad. I think we should go a bit deeper in the middle there. This is now quite a wide. I think we need to go a bit deeper in the middle, so excuse me. What's that? This is the Oshibori guys. We don't usually see inside their truck. Good, good, good. Let's go a tad deeper here. How come Moko Hankan aren't also selling these? We will be once this is finished. We sell woodblock prints. We don't sell the Jikle versions. Okay, that's the positive side. Now the negative side. We have, this is a bunch of lines printed from the key block. I got the key block last night, did a rough printing on this. This is our usual transfer paper. This is the Gampi plus backing sheet transfer paper. I printed it on the key block to show me the lines, and I also did a quick printing on one of the other blocks where the lettering is. And I'm now going to paste this down here and take out, I should make a mark, I guess, what I'm doing. That's one area we're going to take out, and then we're going to take out the lettering as well. Double check my notes here. Honte, if I'd make a mistake, cut letter off. I didn't do these blocks. This whole set was carved by Kawasaki-san, not by me. So, I haven't done any of the cats. I didn't do Sushi Cats. Sushi Cats was carved by Chon-san. Ramen Cats was done by Kawasaki-san, and Hanami Cats was done by Kawasaki-san. I haven't carved any of these. And of course, there's going to be no big peel here, absolutely. You can't peel on something like this. Part's glued and part is not glued. So. So here we go. The lettering has to come out. We can peel a bit of this. Now I've screwed up one of these before years and years ago. I was doing something like this on one of my own prints. I got to this stage and I screwed up with a positive minus. We're so used to leaving things, carving around and take it away. So I've got to remember this one. The purpose here is to take away the lettering, take away this kimono. But usually we leave the pink. So it's really easy to get your brain backwards on this stuff. So Dave, finger, double check. Upper kimono coming out. The result will be this part of the kimono will look darker, the inside kimono will look lighter. That's the goal. So off it comes. Actually, too, I just remember John is here. John Becker's here to show. John, I was thinking about you yesterday. You're coming to Japan again sometime, right? You're here every couple of years, whatever. When the world gets back to normal, you're going to be here again. I have a project for you. Nothing like telling your friends what to do. For those of you who don't know, John is into photography. John is actually a professional photographer. And as I was out yesterday, I went out for a walk yesterday, and it was really, really nice weather. And I was sort of a little bit aimless at first. Where should I go? So I walked over across the river. There's a new little pedestrian bridge here that crosses the river, going from Asakusa over to Sumida. There's a train line that runs over from here towards the Skytree, and they've built a new pedestrian bridge on it. It's called the Sumida Skywalk or something like this. Anyway, I followed it yesterday. I went over and around to the base of the Skytree. A pleasant little walk. It's a bunch of sort of semi-upscale. They're trying to upscale the neighborhoods. A bunch of expensive cafes and stuff like that. There's no big deal. Nothing interesting. But when I got to the Skytree, I realized that I had walked from my shop here to the Skytree in almost a straight line. Come out of my door, turn right, and stay on the same street. Get to the river, go over the new skywalk, which is right there, and the new skywalk across the park, take you underneath the train right to the Skytree. So from my front door to the Skytree is a straight line. It's not linearly straight, but you walk along the same street without turning corners and stuff. So I sat there, relaxed, got a coffee out there, and I came back, And I kept going. Straight line from the Skytree to my shop. Instead of coming in the shop, I kept going down the street. And this was yesterday. This was, what was it, Sunday? There's people out walking, there's shops up, there's all kinds of neat stuff going on. You get from my district back through Nishi-Asakusa, over past the Kappabashi place. And for me, it's really unusual to be out in the middle of the day in this neighborhood. And there's so many cool things. I saw little shops, little this, little that, some place I hadn't noticed before. Kept going in a straight line towards Ueno Station. Kept going straight, no corners. I get to a big concrete abutment. It's underneath the Showa Dori, the big freeway. And I know that on the other side is Ueno Park. And it's something I hadn't noticed before. There's a zigzag ramp there where you can go up to the park. So I go up the zigzag ramp, and my street continues over all the railroad, and it pops out in Ueno Park. I've never been this route before. I go through there, and 2 minutes later, there's the fountain on my left, there's the National Museum on my right, the famous middle of Ueno Park, on a straight line from my shop here. It keeps going, I keep going. It's a nice day, sun's shining, we have a walk there, there's people all over the place with their kids, it's a beautiful day in the park. The straight line continues right into the middle of the Geidai, it's the Arts University. Well, probably nothing's going on Sunday afternoon, but it's a nice, pleasant, beautiful trees, walk around all over the place. I go more, straight through, and the street keeps going straight. I still haven't turned a corner, and I've been walking now for an hour and a half, still haven't turned a corner, and it walks right up to the entrance to Yanaka, in the middle of Yanaka with the beautiful cemetery on the right-hand side. So I sat there and thought about this, and that would be a great photography project. One day on one street in Tokyo. Get up early in the morning, get a Skytree shot, get this, get some morning in Yanaka, and you could make a photo album that, yeah, you know, because I'm not a good photographer, I'm just thinking for John out loud. You can make a great photo album without leaving this street. Literally, without turning a corner. The only place I turned a corner was when I went up that ramp, that zigzag ramp to get up the big hill up to the top of the Ueno Station. Actually, I guess you could follow it on Google Street View. I never thought of that. You could follow, or except maybe on Google Street View, then you probably can't cross the river on that skywalk. And that little ramp, the zigzag ramp, probably is not on Google Street View. I don't know. But other than that, you can walk straight from the Skytree, right past my shop, right up to the Tokyo National Museum. Can't see what we're doing here with all this stuff in the way, so let's get some of this off here. A 52 station. We need a name for it. So 52 stations of the, I mean, the streets here in Tokyo, they do have names, but this street, where we are here, it's 2 blocks, it's called Dori. Then the next corner down, the street name changes. It's called Denpoin Dori. Then 2 blocks west, it's called, what's it called? Asakusa Hanamichi. Then when you cross Kokusai Dori, Kokusai International Street, the name is Kappa Honbashi. So the street name changes all the way along. There's no single name for this. The name changes all the way along as it goes. There's one place too, near Kappabashi. I know people try to get shots of the sky tree, and you find these streets where there's a narrow street and the sky trees in the distance and stuff like that. But there's always, always, always tons and tons of wires in the distance, blocking the view. And yesterday, on the way back from Ueno towards this place, I'm walking along this same straight street, and of course now I'm walking towards the sky tree. And there is one place, I've learned, there's one place where you can get a great shot of the sky tree without a single wire in front of it. You've got the street canyons, you've got cars, you've got people, you've got shops, and there's the sky tree, and you can see right to the base of the sky tree, and there's not a single wire in the middle of it. So the reason we're cutting this one is because there's so many overlay blocks on this print. It turned out that the way I did the color separations, I put too many blocks on the fabric of the banner. I didn't cut it out. I cut it out of only one. And there were, for example, 5 colors doing the whole banner and 4 colors doing the round. And so the letter just didn't show. So we're going to take it off here, and this will increase the contrast between the lettering and the banner, so hopefully make it more visible. So after I do these jobs today, the blocks then go back to the printers for another test whenever we get time. It won't be this week. We've got lots going on. We're going to be activating the printing run for the first print in next year's series. And on top of this is the New Year card. And on top of this now, sales have been really spectacular the last few weeks. And we're running out of a bunch of the gift prints. And actually it might be just about right, because we're almost out of time on the gift prints. We can, another week or so, and we can't ship in time for Christmas, so they're running out just as the post office deadline comes up. So it's worked out well this year. But what a spectacular year we're having! It's incredible, you know. Back in March and April, we were thinking we are about to die, and we're not. We're alive and happy and healthy. So I'm going to be doing a video about this somewhere, maybe in the middle of December. A year-end update video, and we'll talk about the numbers and stuff, as well as next year's series. But the overall numbers are becoming clear. You know, last year, Asakusa, the shop, represented 43% of our revenue. 2019, the last full year of numbers we've got. And this year Asakusa has been 0, except for January and February. Asakusa has been 0. So we lost, straight up, we lost 43% of our revenue. So if we had just got through it at that level, this year our revenue would be, say, 60% or so of last year's, then it would have been understandable. That's not the case. We're already over 80% of last year's revenue, even having lost Asakusa, 43% of it. So I mean, it's not me that's doing this. It's people, you know, ordering our prints and stuff like that. So, and almost everybody here is still fully employed. I know, not quite everybody. And a couple of the girls who used to do nothing but shop work, I haven't got them fully employed. There's 2 of them specifically. But everybody who's in production, as in printing, carving, shipping, the bookkeeping, everybody who's in the flow of the actual business, they're fully employed completely still. It's just the people who are attending in the shop and doing print parties only. Those people I haven't managed to be able to keep. So. You know, the grid on Tokyo, no, that grid predates the war, you know. If you look at maps of Edo, you'll see that grid was there, you know. It's the samurai residences and stuff like that. The whole of Tokyo is not a grid in the sense that you know, an American city will be, that spreads out from a central point. There's there's the Shinjuku area, something area, something area. But wherever there was room for it, it did. It grew out in a grid. All the area that we now look as central Tokyo, the downtown Tokyo station and stuff, area there near what used to be the old castle, it was absolutely grids. Where it deviates from the grids was where, you know, geographical stuff, hills and rivers and stuff got in the way. So the Japanese like their stuff logical. Logical is not the right word for it. Logical. They like their stuff organized, you know. Not logical. Carving this lettering, there's something else that's really, really weird about this, you know. I mean, this is really weird. This is head scratchingly weird for me. I'm looking at this lettering here, and this is, as I look at it, it's readable. This is Ramen. This is not reversed lettering. We never, ever, ever do it this way. Never, never. So I'm thinking, there's a mistake, you know, something, my brain is going, you can't do this. This is not how it's done. But of course, we're looking at the finished print. It has reversed lettering because we're inside the yatai, looking outwards, and the lettering is designed to read from the customers on the outside. So the lettering in the print is reversed, which means the lettering on the block, extremely unusual, is not reversed. Conversation, we'll look at all this. Yow! I can't. So mine wasn't scrolling there. I had it paused. Sorry about that. I have no idea what you guys are talking about then. Ay, 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 ay. I chatted with some of the staff. It was a couple of days ago after when I passed over the blocks for the first print in next year's series. We were chatting about work assignments, and myself and Dei-chan and Chon-san were talking about how to divvy it up. And I did number 1, Chon-san's doing number 2, Kawasaki-san's doing number 3. She'll be finished quite soon. So what we're going to do is we're probably going to give her number 4. Chon-san is going to take number 5, and I myself will be doing probably number 6, I guess. It still isn't 100% sorted out. So. And we had a really, really fun session that day. We were not only just planning assignments, who gets what, but we were still trying to figure out how to adapt Koryusai's originals to our series next year. They're all going to be by Koryusai. They're all from the 1720s, 1730s. But the format he worked in, or he and his publishers worked in, was not the same format that we're publishing these in. You've seen our 8 Views of Cats series. It's sort of almost a 2-by-1 structure. It's a bit of an unusual structure to make woodblock prints of, and it's come because of the paper. It's a long story. We're having trouble getting good paper, so we're trying to minimize the amount of wastage. So our next year's series and the 8 Cats series, they're designed to maximize the use of the kind of paper that is easiest for us to get. Iwano-san makes a sort of a standard size paper, the Obosho, and then he makes variant sizes. But the variant sizes are difficult to get, more expensive, and just troublesome for him. So we've made these 2 print series, the 8 Cats and next year's series, we've made them based on the paper size. You get a piece of Obosho, you cut it in half again, and cut it in half again. So you cut it into 8 pieces. And that's a paper size for the next year's series. So the series was decided by the paper constraint, not by any artistic or visual reasons. And when we decided to do Koryusai prints, this is not news to us, but we find out very quickly that Koryusai didn't work in that format. And the nature prints that we're using as source material for next year's series are all in what's called Chuban format, which is not a 1:2 ratio. So no big deal. We're not trying to make absolute reproductions. We're making adaptations. So we take his Chuban image, and from there we crop and or fiddle to make to get a piece of the image that makes sense in our format. You've seen me carving it the last month or so. The one I've been carving is all a crop. You saw it. I showed the original many, many times. So far, so good. Most of the images that we've tried to use, number 1, number 2, number 3 in the series, we've been able to crop and make a decent, sensible image out of his original. Number 4, we struggled and struggled and struggled and couldn't find a good crop. There's 2 birds, there's a bunch of cherry trees, and just the way it was working, if we cut here, missed something, cut there, missed something, cut there, it didn't work at all. We were really struggling how to get a good crop on this. We don't want to start drawing stuff here. We want to use his image, but just simply, the picture you're seeing here. We could crop this in a number of different ways. So we were kind of a little bit, what shall we do? Until I had an idea. We were at Photoshop on my machine. So I grabbed the image, quickly turned it into a layer, grabbed the transform tool. I took Koryusai's image and just simply first tilted it sideways like this. And Chon-san's like, what? And then once it's tilted sideways, I took our 2:1 rectangle out of the print in the middle. And it's perfect. It's perfect, it's perfect, it's perfect. I got a round of applause from the crowd. And if I hadn't told anybody about this, no one would ever notice, I think. So you can see that this has been hinted now. 4 months from now, in April of next year, when we publish that print, it's going to be, it's a couple of birds. I think they're pheasants, might be peacocks, pheasants, I think, underneath some cherry blossoms. Hunt around the internet, find the original, and you'll see what we did. Public domain material, you know, it's all okay. This is Thomas. Scratched my arm and gave myself a real good cut. We've talked about this here any number of times on this stream, actually. We've talked about this. There's a routine you have to train yourself to. And the only way we learn how to do this is by cutting ourselves. And this is potentially really dangerous. You say you scratched your arm, but the real danger is poking your eye out. You know, we all do this. We move our hair, we do this, we adjust our glasses, and we normally use our dominant hand for this. Meanwhile, here we are, we're carving with our dominant hand. Bring your hand up with a knife in it and try and do something. Move your hair or do this with a super sharp knife in it. So no, it's not my business to tell you what to do. But if you're going to do carving, you've got to establish a routine. Never touch your face, ever, with a knife in your hand. Put the knife down and do this. And you can watch these streams for 3 years. And just a moment ago, you saw me with a knife here near my face. That's the only time you'll ever see me with this. The knife is on the bench. You never, ever, ever touch your face with your tool in your hand, period. And it must be not just Japanese woodblock printmakers. It's anybody who does any carving or working anywhere with a sharp knife. Cooks, I guess, whatever. I have no idea. I'm not into cooks, whatever. But you have got to establish absolutely in your mind, never, ever, ever touch your face until you've put your tool down, period. It's the deal here. The chefs, do you do the same thing? I don't know, no idea. It will be so easy. Chop, 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 boom, and you've cut your ear off or something. Okay, I do believe this one is done. There was just 3 things to do. We had to cut away the tusky, we had to clear his kimono, and we had to clear the lettering. So this one is done. There's 4 or 5 more to do, so we're not short of work here today, but let's... All the prints we destroy in the process are just bits of paper that's actually, it's a woodblock print, you know, but whatever. Okay, I think there's also one on the back of this. Yes. This is interesting. Look at this. This is the same guy, the same kimono. I cut away the inside part over here to make the contrast bigger. We wanted darker on the outside over kimono and lighter on the inner kimono. And here now, I'm cutting off just the outer kimono, which is exactly sort of opposite to what I said. The thing is, there's 8, 9, 10 blocks on here, and this is covered in other areas. We don't want this. But we do want this. I was looking at this morning. So this is okay. These stay, this stays, this goes. But I'm not sure about his hand. I think we're going to leave his hands and take off the kimono. How's our time? 8:50. We're okay. We have show and tell today. We have a show and tell today that's it's a combination of new and old. It's something that we did see here, years ago, maybe 2 years ago. We'll talk about it when we get to it, but there is a fun show and tell today. It's something we won't be able to see the whole thing because it's just too much, it's too massive, but we'll have a look at it, and it's a very, very interesting point. Okay, again, some light tapping here. This is no massive persuading, just light tapping. Helicopter, can I? Yeah, helicopters recently, there was a bunch, right? The last stream, there was a bunch of them around. Even after the stream, they were all over the place. Rehearsals for the Olympics or something, no idea. I tell you, when the Olympics, if it does happen, my God, it'll be wall-to-wall helicopters. What's happening with the Necocats? Necocats is coming. Necocats is coming. It's moving at a glacial pace, but it is coming. Okay, Dave, concentrate. The kimono's coming off, the hands stay, the lantern stays. So some small tapping here just for a minute here. it's on a holiday today here in Japan. I forget what the holiday is, Labor, Thanksgiving or something, I forget. So Asakusa will be busy again today. The last couple of days was really, really crowded, and it'll be crowded again today. Weather's nice. The virus thing, people are thinking, whatever, but getting outside, of course, that's why yesterday the place was just jammed everywhere. All the streets, the park I went to yesterday, bajillion people. Everybody's masked up, of course, but just getting outside. Okay, I think this one's ready now. That's off, that's in, this is off, that's one done. There's still lots more to do here. Let's see what the next one is. I made all my notes here. This is number 3. Number three. I worked this all out last night. Number 3 is, what am I supposed to do with number 3? Cut off the lantern patterns and cut off the entire kimono from both of these cats. Soka. This is a complex one. This is going to need some, a memo here. This is the block that has the lettering in it, which we'll be keeping, but we're cutting off the lanterns, and it says we're cutting off the kimono. We did way too many overlays. There's just no question about it. We did way too many overlays. It's all my original. I think what I did, you hear me do this lots of times actually. I say, when I'm not sure how something is going to go, we'll keep it on both blocks, and that'll give us the flexibility. We can cut it off one of the blocks later on. And that's exactly what's happening this time. This kimono would have been on too many blocks, but we had no idea what we were doing. I say we, it's me. Does it mean his sitting area? I don't know. I don't know. What's this? Delivery next door. It's so dark now, the brightness out there. Not sure what this is. Beer delivery? I don't know. Don't recognize the truck. And remind me, what's coming off? It says the lanterns as well. Hi, okay. Can we see the delivery? I don't know what's going on. Bit curious there. What is he delivering? Too late, he's already shown. What was it? I missed it, I'm sorry. Was it beer? Sorry about that. Drinks, beverages, yeah, okay. How's the time? We're still okay, no problem, no problem. Okay, so again, in a slight reversal of what normally happens here, when we paste these things down, we keep what's pink and we carve away everything else. But here, because we're doing a fix, there's a block with many areas carved on it. It's almost a flat block. What we've got is there's some areas taken out. You can see the lettering is out, the faces are out, parts of the desk. This area here is his arm. So what we're doing is this is a tone block for the table and this everything else. And we've got areas that we've decided don't want to be on this tone block. So I'm going to paste this thing down here now, and then instead of leaving the pink, I will remove the pink. Check, double check, lantern, check. Upper kimono down to the hands. No, that's also got to come. Look at that. Right. Check, upper kimono in. Leave the chopsticks. The hands are already off. The chopsticks are on. That's going to be fun, leaving the chopsticks and taking away the outside piece, but whatever, it's got to be done. Leave this, leave his seat, take it off, take it off, take it off. Okay, this one is not going to be so simple, that's going to be complicated. Here she goes. No, put your judge cards away. There's no single peel here. No peel today. Put your judging cards away. I can't peel it off because there's so many parts that are not glued down. We can't do it. It would just tear and distort the thing. No peel here. You can only peel when the entire surface is glued and you peel it off. There's too many places that are not glued. We're just going to do a point-by-point spot peel here. Okay. Piecemeal peel judge. Okay, whatever, as you wish, but whatever. The other day when we were having that conversation, working out the job assignments, who's going to do what, who's going to carve what, and as I said, it was decided pretty much that I'm going to be carving number 4. What did I say? I forget the numbers. I'm going to carve number 4. Kawasaki-san's carving number 6. Chon-san's going to carve number 5, I think. I always forget the numbers. Anyway, the tracing for number 4, the one that I'll be carving, is not being done by me. The tracing is being done by Chon-san. And he uses that terrible, terrible gampi. So we were laughing at each other. We had a laughing and a fight yesterday. He said, "No, it's good. You just don't know how to peel it, you know." And I'm saying, "I do not want that crap. Just don't use it." He says, "No, you just got to learn how to use it." I'm like, "I don't want that stuff." So I gave him 2 sheets of the house gampi, the house 5 momme gampi. I said, "You use this stuff. Don't you dare do it on that crappy gampi that you've been using, you know." We're not fighting, we're laughing at each other, you know, of course, you know. So when I get the tracing from him in a few days when it's finished or whenever it's going to be done, it hopefully will be on David's Choice gampi. I don't know. Okay, that's all we're going to get here. Now, Dave, leave pink, don't cut pink. No, cut pink, don't leave pink. Cut pink, cut pink. It is so easy to screw this up, even when I'm in the middle of it. You're doing it, you're cutting pink, cutting pink, cutting pink. You look up, you look down, you leave pink. It's so easy to screw up. So help me. I need help. Step 1 in this 11 steps. Step 1 is I need help. I admit I need help. Cut pink. How's our time? We're okay? Oh. Not really any time. Whatever. We will make a token stroke here. Cut pink. You laugh, don't laugh. It's really a thing. It's really, really, really a thing. I've done it on this stream any number of times. Last time I remember when we were doing the Patreon chibis this year, fixing that part where the chopsticks were, remember? I cut the wrong way for those chopsticks. It is so easy to screw up here. I think we're out of time to show. We have a good show and tell, so let's do that. Yeah, 9:15. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Okay. S and T, show and tell. What did I do with it? Here it is. Okay. Okay, some of this I said you've seen before. This is actually, it's not all brand new stuff. It's a merge and a mix of different stuff we've seen before. This is a merge and a mix. First up, these, the Tokaido little prints. You saw these a few weeks ago. They were in that black little photo album. This is a set of Tokaido prints made in Meiji 30 something, I don't remember, whatever, 1914 was it? I don't remember exactly. We'll zoom in a minute, just hang on a sec. So we're bringing these back today. We're going to compare them with something else. We have this, which we got here in 2017, and I probably showed on this Twitch stream at that time. This is a set of Tokaido prints. I got it on Yahoo auction. I got my note here on May the 8th, 2017. It was one of those auctions that just sometimes lightning happens. We get good value sometimes, but every now and again we get value that is just beyond belief. It was a set of 7 little booklets, and the auction guy described it as Tokaido Prints set of 7. And the way he described it, it really looked like it was a broken set, just 7 Tokaido prints. And he opened one of these things, and he had the picture of it like this, and it was not rat-eaten, but look at this, the toning on this is awful paper, it's rotten, it's ready to die. One of the prints was in here, it wasn't clear. You can see the toning and aging, and this thing is just pulp, it's just crap. And he listed it as 7 Tokaido prints. It was 1,000 yen, nobody else bid on it, I bid on it. It arrived, and what it was 7 packages of Tokaido prints with 8 in each package. There was 8 prints here, 8 prints here, 8 prints here, so 56 altogether, 55 plus 1 for 1,000 yen, $10. The prints have been removed, but you can't leave them in there. They're going to die. The prints have to come out of that packaging. I removed them. We're keeping them nice and clean all by themselves. We have 56 stunning, gorgeous pre-war Tokaido prints for $10. Now, whatever. This does not happen every day. This does not happen every day. Now, the reason I'm bringing him out today is this. Last night, I was trying to get organized for the collection as to how we're going to show, and I'm really trying to figure out how on earth we can start to show some of these prints side by side so that we can compare different versions of these prints. And I still haven't figured out yet actually how to do this on the net side of our collection. But what I want to do today is just flip through a couple. We can't go through all 55. We don't need to. We'll just go through a dozen or so and highlight a couple of things. These are both really, really high quality prints. So we're not comparing good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. There's a thing about the Tokaido series in that it really, really evolved as time went by. And there's no documentation on this. There's just a bunch of leftover prints. Step one, look at this. This is the classical version of Hiroshige's Tokaido. There's the procession coming over the bridge here in the morning, and yet, what are we seeing here? There's variant images out there dating right back to Hiroshige's day. And the general feeling among the researchers who do this is that it's not just the colors in the sky. Look at the people. Look at the design. The general feeling is that this was a super, super popular series. We know that. So the blocks really started to wear out quickly. They just produced these things by the hundreds and thousands. But when it came time to cut a new set of blocks, the publisher, for some reason, decided to change a bunch of the images. Now, we're not talking about color variants. A little bit of blue here changed to a green. We're talking about massive redesign and recarving. Did Hiroshige do this? Or was it just the publisher saying, okay, let's play with this? Nobody knows. There's no actual leftover, documentation on what this is. The one that was changed the most is this one. And you can read both ways. There's different researchers that say this is the first version, it then came to this. Other people say no. When you count how many we've got, this was the first one, and it was simplified for the second one. And this is the one that was followed in all subsequent years. I have no dog in this fight. I don't know what it is. But it is a stunning, staggering difference in these two designs. Now that's okay. That's easy to understand. Okay, they took a major change. They did this, they did that. But look what happens now in some more of these designs. We can see this happening in other, this is quote unquote the same design, right? We talked about this a few minutes ago with the Kodisai prints. I'm scaling them and editing and cropping them. Look up here. There's your tree. Oops. There's your tree. There's your... This publisher took his Photoshop. He grabbed one corner holding his shift key down, and he pulled up, scaled up the whole thing. Look at this. There's the boat. Here's your horizon is basically half. Your horizon here is up. This has been scaled up and cropped out. Now, if I were going to be carving this, faced with a super delicate carving of this, with all this empty sky, I'd be thinking, I know what I can do with this. Scale it up, get rid of some empty sky, and make the little people much bigger so you can see them. So I was talking about the color fading. There's two things going on with the color differences here. One is this top one is a little bit older. This is 1914 or so. This one, I don't know exactly how to date it. I would be guessing 1920s. But the difference between the color is the difference in the publisher's philosophy, what he has told the printers to do. They've used a wider, cheaper paper, and they have really lathered on their color in really thick layers. This one, they've kept a nicer, a nicer balance in how much pigment you put on the paper. So this is brighter and harder and cleaner It's something I really don't like at all. It's not so similar to the older versions. And it's the paper difference. And we see this scaling happening all the way along. If I put them side by side, can you see? Look at the tree. The distance from the tree to the top. The tree shape itself, it's redrawn. Did Hiroshige do the second version? Did the publisher do the second version? I don't know. This publisher has followed one set. This publisher has followed another set. I myself sort of think this is the later versions, but I really don't know. Look at the trees. Some of them, there's some of them, when we get to Odawara, if we get as far as Odawara, he's changed the landscape. Oh, look at the buildings. Look at this. I told you last time, he took the Photoshop and pulled it up holding the shift key down. This time, he didn't hold the shift key down. They stretched this one horizontally. Look at that. Look at the feeling of a very narrow street with really tiny buildings. And here, look at this. Hi, domo. Ah, arigatou gozaimasu. Domo. Thank you. Show and tell. Not today. Look at this. I didn't even notice that when I was going through last night. They have horizontally stretched this one. I think the more and more I look at this now, these guys publishing this set, this is that bag of 7 that I got for 1,000 yen. They have really gone to town with this. There's no way that's the Hiroshige original. Not even close. This is fun. This is fun. They're nicely made though, you know. Clean, clear, beautiful printing. But what I'm trying to figure out is a way to do this on the web. Over on ukiyo-e.org, they've got a comparison thing. John Ressig wrote a neat script for this. You pull up a web page on ukiyo-e.org, and it's got one of them at the top and a bunch of the other ones at the bottom. And he's got a JavaScript that'll compare. And it's sort of a slideshow. The prints roll, next one, next one, next one. And you can see them one after the other, one after the other. So there is a way to do it. What I want to do is to find a way in that collection where you can select Group A and select Group A and put them side by side. So you can do exactly on the screen what we are doing here. If they were vertical prints, you can put them easily side by side on a screen like this and compare. Horizontal ones, it gets a bit more difficult. We'll work it out at some point. We'll work it out. Yeah, I think you see the boats are probably the same. It's the shore that's moved. They've just stretched the house into the bay. Nay. This is fun. I don't think we'll find as many as dramatic as that. This one looks pretty much, well, it's not the same, but overall, the mood is stretched a little bit at the side. No dramatic changes on this one. Oh, this one, I noticed this last night. Look at this. This is a known thing. We're not just discovering this here for the first time. If you look at some research pages on the Tokaido, that first one, Nihonbashi, they talked about there are variant A and variant B. This one has a really, really interesting variant. This is the one that's generally accepted as being the earliest version of this. And it's clumsy. There's a guy here, and I assume he's dismounting, right? He's arrived at this inn or tea house, but what is he doing, this guy? He's got a foot on the ground now, he's got another foot, and presumably he's been dismounting from this horse. But it's clumsy, we can't see what's going on, it's really not good art. The second variant of this design, this is Totsuka, the design called Totsuka. The second variant, oh, mada, hi, arigatou gozaimasu. 何ですか？
住所同じなんですけど、
はい、
東京ホタル堂さん。
ホタル堂ですね。はい、はい、わかりますか？かき小屋の向こう、奥行きありますね。
はい、
奥、一番奥です。あれもホタル堂。今この時間で今日定休日でしょ、月曜日。
あ、そうなんですか。
定休日、ゲートが閉まったかもしれない。
はい、わかりました。
もし私が預かることができれば、どうぞ置いておいてください。
はい、すみません。
はい。Where were we? Okay, here's the guy getting off his horse. And look at what happens in the variant. And this is presumably Hiroshige at work. The guy is now mounting up. He's getting on the horse. Time to go, time to leave. And this is known. If you look up Tokaido and variant images, whatever, you'll see this one. This is some super change, but I can understand it because this was clumsy. This was no good. It was awful. This one at least makes sense. The guy is getting on his horse, ready to go. And publisher A has chosen this one, and publisher B has chosen this one. These are both nicely made, you know. The pigment here is too dark for my taste, I'm sorry, but the print itself is beautifully made, tastefully carved. And considering it cost me about 50 cents, 15 cents. The guy on the bridge, is he changed? What's happening here? Let's have a look at this. The guy coming in on the bridge. Well, little bits have changed. I mean, it's all been redrawn. The whole thing is redrawn. All the buildings are different. Every line is different. But it's basically, the guy on the bridge is sort of the same. Yeah, friendly old guy here and somebody sinister. I don't know. But that's a dramatic one. Then let me skip ahead here because we're skip ahead to Odawara. Just a second here. Oh, it's only 3 more down. Okay, skip. 1, 2, 3. Skip down. 1, 2, 3. Skip down. This is Odawara. And look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I mean what? And when you look at a photograph of this, and this, again, the researchers have talked about this, this is much closer to what you really see at that river. There is no high mountain there. There is a low mountain range there. And there's Odawara Castle in the background. And he moved the whole town. I'll try and get this. Back there is Odawara Castle with some buildings, a town near the river. This one, the castle, they've brought the town way, 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 way forward. Look at the trees, the mountains. So the first block set, just totally wore out, and rather than do it the same way, for some reason, they redrew it all. I have no idea why. No idea why. There's a couple of guys down here that are really, really funny. Oh, Suga-san, どうもおはようございます。今、ストリーム、もうあと2、3分ぐらい終わりますから、ちょっと待ってください。はい。This is Suga-san. Come say hello. Come say hello.
どこ？
この辺。Here.
この辺。この辺。
Welcome back. Thank you very much. So.
念が張ってます。
Why does Steve keep taking his mask off? I don't take it off. I put it on when people are nearby. This is the deal here in Japan. This is our new life. When you're sitting by yourself, you don't need a mask. But somebody comes close by, all talking, all groups, everybody. Mask up. Okay, ちょっと待ってください。あと1分でしょ。Okay. じゃあ、one more, just these couple of guys. Then we'll sign off here. Now, how close I can zoom in here. On this print, we have, I showed this one on the stream before, actually, on the video before. Here we go. There's 2 guys standing by. The new version, what are these jokers doing? I don't know what they're doing. I have no idea what they're doing. Anyway, same print, same time, same station. So it looks like a couple of jokers skinny dipping. So okay, I said we can't sit here and go through all 55. The first set, this one at the up, this is already in our collection online. The mokohankan-collection.com. You can see them online, very high resolution. It's now planned. We will also put these into the online system, but it won't be happening in a couple of days or a couple of weeks. It's just happening sometime soon. Okay, so many stories, so much to investigate, so much to look at. It just never ends, never ends, never ends. Okay, I got to get out of here. Sugi-san wants some advice here. I have to pack a FedEx box for Jed. Jed, if you're listening, FedEx arriving in a couple of days. Okay, it's Monday. I'm out of here. 3 days now. I'll be back here Thursday morning. I don't know what I'll be doing. Maybe on Ramen Cats, maybe doing something else. I have no idea. We'll be doing something. See you then. Mask up, please. We're just, whatever. We're so worried about our American friends now. Anyway, no need to talk about it. You all know what's happening. See you then. Thanks for coming. I'll see you 3 days from now. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.